You got a folder full of old ChatGPT or other LLM prompts just sitting around collecting dust. See, back in the day when AI first came out, every creator worth his salt was giving out free prompts. People were selling prompt packs. You done bought some, you got some for free. You just collected some as you cruising around the web over the course of the year. The problem is, at that time, those prompts were normally a little meh. A lot of them were sort of rehashes of each other's prompts, and they kind of sort of work, but it never really gave you exactly what you want. Well, here's a new day. Day is a new day. It's the dawn of a new day. With ChatGPT 5, we're going to rework those meh prompts so they can finally do what you always wanted them to do. So it's time to dust out your old prompt collection and let's put some work into it. We're going to rewrite those suckers using the brand new model, and we're going to let it do all of the work, and then you'll be able to watch the magic happen. So if you stick around with me for just a couple of minutes, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT 5 to improve on some of the older prompts you either collected or you crafted yourself and you just want to make them better. Now, they don't have to be super old. It could be prompts that you set up in the last model that kind of work like 90%. Let's try to push them to 92 to 95%. Let's just dive in. Let's dive in. We're going to jump over to ChatGPT real quick. But before we go in, I must address something. There is a lot of guff and kerfuffle running around about ChatGPT 5 and some of the rollout and some of the things that have happened. First of all, when a new model comes out, everybody and their brother attacks it. Servers get beat up. Doesn't always function right. Number two, most of that stuff doesn't really affect what we need to do as content creators. That's for some higher end API usage, things like that. It doesn't really affect us. So we just going to be like Kermit, drink our little tea and pretend that that's none of our business. For what we need to do, ChatGPT 5 will be perfectly fine. You can try this with Google Gemini, latest model, and you can also try this with the Claude latest model. We're just going to use GPT-5 for today because it has that auto-select the right model thing, which I think is the bee's knees Hall of Fame. Sorry, Diana Gladney, for stealing your word. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I had came up with the prompt that I use to reply to when I get requests to review a product. So if Anchor were to send me this and they will ask me if I wanted to participate in make a video about this, they'll often send me an email request and I want to reply favorably. Sometimes I want to reply negatively. And I built a bot that would help me formulate those words a little better. And then I would always have to go in there and massage it a little bit. Well, with the new model, maybe we could get even better outputs. And so far, I've been loving my prompt. I don't really hate it, but why not make it better? Always 1% better. So let's jump over to ChatGPT real quick. I'm going to click it right here. So what I'm going to ask ChatGPT to is to refine this prompt to work best with the latest model and the most current brand collaboration practices. Explain your choices and output a reusable version of this prompt. And now I'm going to paste in my prompt, and it is kind of long. I'm not going to overly read it to you, but basically my prompt was a content creator collaboration ethics guideline for responding to product review requests. It had my key principles, my approach to collaboration requests, my response strategy, and I remind them that if the product does not meet my needs, if the product wasn't good for y'all, I ain't making a video. Even if they say, if you make a video, we'll give you this. I'll be like, if it ain't for y'all, no, they don't get a video. So they have to decide ahead of time. I'm willing to take a chance that he's going to like it. That puts the proof on them, and I don't got to waste your guys' time with some trash. You know what I mean? All right, cool. So then I said, explain my reasons for the non-collaboration, and I remind them that I normally don't do public criticism. Like, I'm not one of those YouTube dicks that would be like, the product sucks and the manufacturers are trying to rob you. I just won't make the video. So, I just let them know that I may not make the video, but I'm not going to slam them in public. I will provide feedback as to how and why I don't like the product. Okay, so I'm going to ask ChatGPT to run this. I am selecting the thinking model because I wanted to put that snoot to use and come up a little bit better with its response. So while it's thinking, this is one of those situations where AI can go a long way to helping you with your emails, but you just don't want it to write the email for you. You want it to understand your how and your why and your reasoning. These are some of the things that you can craft using the voice model. So even when I was coming up with this, I took an old ethics statement that I had, which was a rewrite of the ethics statement that Tom Buck all told us to steal. And then I came up with my own and, use my principles. Again, I tell people I don't do negative videos on my channel. I'm not going to give you editorial, chance to mess up my video and tell me what I got to say and not say. You send me the product, I make the video. You like the video, we run it. If you don't like the video, I don't like the product, it don't run. Either way, no hands, no fuss. And I've even had, companies ask me to send it back, and I'm like, cool, I'll send it back. I'm not that desperate for free products. And this is why on my channel, I don't do too much with brand deals. I have to really, really trust the brand. So it is making some changes, and it's telling us why. It replaced the never post negative content for saving substance. You shouldn't promise silence if the product is unsafe. Yeah, but it's not okay. I feel you there. I get what they're trying to do. I don't get into, the legal side of it. It's just something that I don't do too much. But let's see what it came up with. It says, you're my brand collaboration ethics and response assistant. Your job is to help me quickly and ethically decide how to handle collaboration requests, projects, audience trust, and comply with disclosure rules. Produce clear, ready to send outputs, no internal reasoning. Yes. My inputs will be like the brand product, what they want, comparison, compensation, cast, affiliate, gifting, usage rights, so forth, etc. Safety claims, make sure that it goes with UL, FCC, DAC. I get that. I appreciate that. It has to fit my audience fit, and my audience is Gen X beginning creators, what the relevance is to them and what their potential value is. I love that so far. It goes based on my past experience, prior mentions, competitors, existing sponsors. Cool. It's saying that I won't generate conflicts. And then, here's my minimum. I can put in my cash floor if I want, what the usage rights are going to be, whether it's, paid or in perpetuity or without fee, whatever that comes out with. It's going to give me up to 60 days unless there's a paid premium, right? It asks for revision rounds. I'm not going to do revision rounds, but I'll just take those out of the individual emails. I'm not a fan of revisions. It's not up to them. And it asks what the payment terms are, disclosures, so forth, so on, et cetera. Process do this silently. I love that. And it's like decide on one of these and tells me what my rules and best practices are. It tells me what the red flags, right? If it's like one of those spammy type emails, which is good. And it explains my deliverables. Like this is way better than my original prompt. And there we go, the disclaimer, and look good. Looks absolutely good. So I have a prompt that I can use and it's working, and this is absolutely good, right? So what I would do is take everything from here, right? I take everything from here, and just come up and then pull this as my prompt. Let me come back down. So I would go from right there. So that would be my new prompt that I would then use to work on my new process if I wanted to do that. Let's go do one more real quick just to show you what we're going to come up with. So I have a prompt over here before where I wanted it to brainstorm, right? And I'm going to pop this in. I'll read you what the prompt says. It's kind of long, but I'll keep it as short as possible. It says, help me brainstorm some YouTube ideas for beginning content creators who are primarily Gen X and geriatric millennials. These creators have little to no experience making content, but have very limited time to learn. Come up with a catchy title, a brief description, why the topic would resonate with them, approximately 5 to 10 minutes video, key points to cover, unique angles that would be different, focus on the practical, actionable advice, that could be implemented quickly with minimal equipment or technical knowledge. Include these ideas across these categories. And there's the categories that I put in. Please generate those 10 guys, right? So we're going to come up to the top and we're going to fix our refine prompt. So we're going to say we want to refine this prompt, and let me see. Boom, let me use this one. Refine this prompt to work best with the latest model and the most current YouTube best practices, right? Explain your choices, and let me pull this part out and we'll call it good. All right, so now we got it. I'm going to just go ahead and say run and let it come up with a better version of this prompt. And we'll actually run this prompt because, it might have some cool ideas in there that we can then use. But again, I'm letting it do the work for you because it knows what it's want. And I think that's one of the biggest things that people miss when it comes to trying to do prompts. Even if you know nothing, you could be like, hey, I need a prompt to do this. And the way I like to think about it, when you think about prompts, there is a method to the madness. It isn't just blind asking it stuff, right? If you give it somewhat of a structure, you tell it what you're looking for, and okay, you tell it what the goal is. if you have any source material, you provide that source material. You give it any particular constraints that you have. Like for me, it knows I have it already pre-programmed. I cannot stand those AI cliches. I also don't like whether you're a new content creator or old fart. I hate those conditional statements, right? So I already told it, don't say that stuff to me. And then I ask it to come up with a process. I give it any additional instructions that I might have. And then by giving it examples, I'm giving it some sort of validation signals, right? So for instance, if I wanted to have it write podcast show notes, I would tell it, hey, I want you to write some podcast show notes for me. I'm going to provide you these 3 examples of podcast show notes that I like. Make sure that when you're doing it, you're going to, Creators Unstuck is always capital C, capital U. You're going to know that my co-host is Mary Lou Mando, spell her name out. My name is Doc Rock, spell my name out. Don't be like, the creators or the host said or whatever. Use our actual names. And then I'm going to tell it to analyze any transcripts deeply. And before it spits anything out, explain to me what it picked up in the analyzation so that way I know it understands where we're going, and then wait for my further instructions. And then once it's done that, I'm going to tell it to go ahead and write those and then compare it against the examples again to make sure they're good and do any last minute rewrites. So that's what I mean by come up with a goal state, give it a source material, give it constraints, explain the process, any last minute instruction, and how it can check itself. If you create prompts like that, you'll be fine. The cool thing is with ChatGPT 5, you don't even have to know most of that. Like it could do it for you. But if you keep that framework in mind, you'll be fine. So it thought about it, and here's the new prompt. You're a senior YouTube strategist helping beginner content creators, Gen X and older, with limited time and minimal gear. Brainstorm 10 diverse YouTube ideas that a true beginner can film today with the smartphone, window light, and edit in under 60 minutes. I love it so far. Speak plainly to Gen X creators or older beginners. Be friendly, be clear, be direct. Avoid hype and condescension, no emojis. I love that. Ban these particular words, right? I love that. Here's your coverage requirements. I love that. And it has the title rules. It says what the limb should be. It says what the out should be. And this is dope. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to go from the top. We're going to pull it down. And then we're going to say bingo, bango, pickle, mango, paste it inside of here, and let's run this sucker. See what it comes up with. I could have turned the thinking off for this. This doesn't really require thinking. And I'm on the pro model, so I'm not getting penalized for the thinking. But on the free model, when you don't need the thinking, turn it off because you only get like 30 a month. So you want to be careful with that. I do have the $20 model, not pro. It's the, what do they call it? ChatGPT Plus. Pro is the $200 one. I don't have that. I'm not that crazy. All right. So it's actually thinking a little long time. I'll let that run, but let's do it. Let's do this quicker. And then I'll turn this back off to just select auto. And then I'll paste this because otherwise the other one's going to think too long and we don't really need to think that hard. See, it was much quicker. See the difference between the thinking model and the not thinking model? And so it's going to formulate these ideas. Easiest way to name your YouTube channel. That's kind of a good one. Not a lot of people talk about that. That's actually a decent video. Quick guide to YouTube channel art in 15 minutes. One take talking head videos anyone can shoot. I love that. Teach the scripting and script light approach where you talk directly to camera in one shot. Cutting and filming, editing in minutes. Love that. Cuts through editing overwhelm. I love that. These are all good points. 5 to 7 minutes. You bust out your retention hook. Record and show the finished video at the start. Production tip. Face the window. Soft light. It's giving me those tips. And so, yeah, these are good. These are all very, very good. And it even tells you you want some ready-to-use thumbnail text for those guys that are click-worthy and worth your style. So let me pull up the one that thought a little bit longer, and it's still going. That's kind of funny. Like, that sucker is still thinking it out right now. But yeah, it's coming up with slightly deeper ones. Make thumbnails fast. A fast 10-minute template that you can reuse over and over again. That's actually a pretty good video right there. One take Q&A, 5 answers in 10 minutes. No edits. I love that. Turn daily errands into content. 3 quick clips. I love that. This is all very good stuff. Building confidence on camera. You know how to believe in building confidence. It's a switch. You turn that sucker on, you turn it off. Simple as pie. Anyway, as you can see, look, this is coming out fine. So I just wanted to show you real quick in a nutshell, give you a little bit of inspiration. I don't want it to be a how-to video per se. I want you to take your shot. I want you to take some older prompts that you kind of wish they worked, but didn't really work the way you wanted to. Throw them in the chat and be like, refine this prompt. You could leave it at just that. I like to give it a little bit more instruction because I think you tend to get better output. But if you just want to take the simplest TLDR approach, take your old prompt, throw it in the chat and say, ChatGPT, please refine this prompt. That alone will get you far. Otherwise, you can rewind the video and see the way that I asked it and maybe apply some of that. Give it your own sauce. Make sure that it sounds like you. Again, if your outputs aren't sounding like you, spend some time talking to your bot, right? Spend some time talking to your bot and you'll be good to go. So let's pop this up one time real quick before we run. I'm going to fire this up, give it a chance to think. Oh, that one's not signed in. Grab the other phone. I just installed the beta 26 on that, so it's not working. Hold on. It's still thinking. Are you good? Are you there? Are you ready?
Absolutely. I'm right here and all set. Just let me know what you need and we'll jump right in.
So I have this idea of having ChatGPT 5 rewrite older prompts in order to make them work better. If I want to teach somebody how to do this, what would be a prompt that they would use to make sure that they get the best output asking ChatGPT 5 to rewrite their old prompts?
Sure thing. That's a really practical idea, and I think a lot of folks will find it helpful. So a prompt you could give them might look something like this. Hi, ChatGPT 5. I have a bunch of older prompts that I use with previous versions of ChatGPT, and I'd like to update them to work more effectively with the new features and improvements in ChatGPT.
Continue.
Absolutely.
Continue.
Absolutely, picking right up. Please take this older prompt I used before and rewrite it so that it takes advantage of ChatGPT 5's newest features and auto-routing capabilities. I'd like the updated prompt to give me more accurate, relevant, and creative responses, and to be as beginner-friendly as possible. Thank you. That way you're guiding them to just hand over their old prompt and the AI does the rest of the heavy lifting. Let me know if you need anything else.
That works. Mahalo. Okay, so I'll paste what she said into the first comment on this video. The reason why she was cutting out, if I have it too close to the microphone, it was bouncing back to the mic and it thought it was talking to itself, but that's neither here nor there. You know what I say? I don't know who needed to see this, but if it was you, let me know in the comment section below. If any of that was confusing, let me know and we'll dig deeper. I will take what she just said and I'll give you that. That might be a better approach. I should have asked her that in the first place, now that I did it. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. We will get after it. And you know what I say around here? If you like this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you will never miss another one of these videos. And right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video they think you should watch, and I agree with them.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in talk.